Hi. Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's okay. Sending lots of love through the ether. Virtual. So much happens on a daily basis. It's crazy. But we've got each other, haven't we? So it's okay. I've just been watching the parliamentary channel. This is how I get my kicks these days. Watching the parliamentary channel. I just really enjoy getting the bad guys. And they had select committees. The first one was for David Cameron. And the second one was for, an independent advisor who's checking on conflicts of interest for members of parliament. Very interesting. Let me tell you. So, I think we just need a minute to remember how powerful each and every person is right now, whether or not you know it. An example of our power and using social media is there was an elephant. go with me, just go with me. So there was an elephant called Kavan, I think that's how you say it. I was watching this program earlier, and I did actually share this months ago, last year. I watched a program today that was about the whole story of this. So 5 years ago, a girl found out about this elephant that was stuck in a zoo in Pakistan. And she started a campaign using a hashtag, Free Kavan. And because it was basically just this little, not little, this is an elephant, but it was so 35 years, but that's like in his prime. And he was like chained up in this tiny enclosure in this zoo in Pakistan. And he was like swaying. That's all he did, was sway. There's nothing in there for him to do. There was a female in there, but the female died. His partner died because she got an infection from the chains that were around her feet. They didn't tend to. And his partner dying obviously just broke him. And he was just stuck in this tiny little enclosure and he was just swaying from side to side. It's like emotional distress. So elephants are really emotional animals. They're really, really emotional. And they talk on like a subliminal level to each other. And this guy was like, yeah, if you touch their heads here, their heads are always vibrating because they're always talking, we can't hear it. And anyway, so this girl started this campaign and it's spread around the world just from on her Facebook and doing a hashtag. And then Cher got involved. And Cher obviously saw it and was like, no, I want to help here. I don't know how I can help, but I want to help. And she knew somebody that was involved in, animal rescue. So she contacted them and then they got involved. And ultimately, obviously it took 5 years, but Cher obviously managed to rally the troops like the beautiful woman she is. And a solicitor in Pakistan took a case to court that he won to say that animals have rights to, have what they need. And he won it. And they ordered this zoo to close, and they had to rehome all of the animals to better sanctuaries. So Cher worked with a number of, she started her own thing, which is Free the Wild, hashtag Free the Wild, and they worked with another charity called Four Paws, and they rescued this elephant and they sent him to, and they sent him to an elephant sanctuary in Cambodia. So this is during the pandemic. They had to get all sorts of like special approvals to be able to fly, and an animal, well, just to fly at all during the pandemic. Do you know what I mean? And they rescued all these animals, and then they sent Karan to this elephant sanctuary in Cambodia. And now he is living, so he was in this tiny little pen, he had nothing, and he was literally chained 24/7, and there was nothing in there. And obviously he'd lost his partner. And now he's in this place, this amazing place. It's like thousands of acres. And he's got all the, there's other elephants there, ladies as well, And he's just rediscovering life, like all these amazing things. And like, what a beautiful story. They just kept fighting. They kept fighting for his freedom. And not only that, but that case there is a precedent. It's a precedent. Even if it was in Pakistan, it doesn't matter. It's a precedent everywhere. So if there are places that the animals are being mistreated or they don't have the right space, then there's a precedent set. that they have rights to their lives too. So don't ever stop fighting, because it works. This is the thing. As much as it depends on how you use social media. It depends on how you use it. If you're just sort of flicking through it, needing it for some kind of emotional gratification that is never going to come, that's detrimental to your mental health. But if you're using it for the platform that it is, the connectivity that it is, the opportunity that it is to spread a positive message or a fight for something, for what's right, then look at the good that it can do. And that's the exciting thing about it. Because all of these social media platforms have billions of people. And if we use it the right way, think of the change. Think of the impact that each and every person could have. You know, just using it, just thinking of it differently, just using it differently. So I'm going to put links into that story because I thought I'm feeling a bit, the Love Train by the OJs. That's the vibe I'm in today. Like, toot toot, everyone get on board. Like, all this hate, all this pain, it's making us sick. And we can heal. We can heal and we can change. And we all make mistakes. We're all made of the same stuff. And we're all emotional beings. And things happen. Things happen. You know, trauma happens. These situations happen. Emotions take over, and we do things that we regret. But you know, it's a test. We're not just we're not just the sum total of our mistakes. That's the thing. The mistakes are there to teach us lessons, teach us how strong we really are, and how we can literally overcome anything. And all of the people that we have loved and lost along the way, they're here. They're here with us now. They've always been here. And they're just willing us to not make the same mistakes. Not make the same mistakes as they did. same decisions. Because otherwise you just keep going around in circles, as history is evidence of. And if you really sort of think about, why do you believe what you believe? Why does anyone believe what they believe or feel how they feel about certain things or certain people? Is it because you actually believe it? Have you ever stopped to think, how do I actually feel? Or is it just because society at large has told you how to feel about it? Or your parents have told you how to feel about it? Or the people that you're around have told you how to feel about it? Or the mainstream media have told you how to feel about it? But how do you actually feel about it? Or is it so tainted by everyone else's thoughts and opinions that you are just ignoring your own inner voice? You know? Because it's a whole nature nurture thing. It's like, how would you, if you're brought up in a certain environment around certain people with certain opinions, you're going to think the same. But that's not your own opinion, really. That's just theirs imprinted on you. So it's just being aware of that. Aware of yourself, aware of the influences, intentional or not, that are around all the time, trying to make you go one way or another. And they're only trying to do that because ultimately it will add to somebody's bottom line somewhere, someday. The most important thing for me right now is I can't cope with how they're just letting us down. They let us down left, right and centre. Because if you want to think on COVID terms, well, there is a drug, ivermectin, which is a therapeutic, which has been around for decades, which there's loads of evidence on, there's loads of proof that it dramatically reduces mortality, that it dramatically reduces time in hospital, that it dramatically reduces the need for intubation, whatever the word is, that it dramatically reduces the need to go into ICU, that it dramatically increases the time to recovery. And if there was a drug that exists, that has always existed, that does all of that, that is proven to do all of that to the extent that solicitors are able to use the evidence to force hospitals to give that drug to patients because it's not on guidelines and no one wants to give it, but a judge will approve it on the basis of the evidence, then really makes you question, what are they doing? What are these regulatory boards, FDA, the WHO, FDA, WHO, MHRA, and the rest of them? What are they doing? This drug has been around, and as you know, doctors have been pleading for it to be put on these guidelines as like a first defense. Like, as soon as someone comes into hospital, give this because of this, and the side effects are much less than any of the side effects from a vaccine, from these vaccines. Side effects which they don't talk about in mainstream media, but of which there are many. And as I said to you the other day, the Hippocratic Oath is that all physicians have to take that oath, and you're supposed to be putting the patient first. You're supposed to be giving the best healthcare, advice, treatment possible that's available. And simply, no one is. Anyone that is refusing to give ivermectin or delaying the approval of its use, they're not putting the patients first. And they haven't been since March last year, when the doctor first went to the Senate and pleaded for it to be put on the guidelines. And if it had been put on those guidelines at that time, most people would have been saved. And that is just a fact based on the evidence of how it works. So why would they not do it? Why? So the reason I'm hell-bent on fighting this and fighting all of this and exposing all the people as soon as I possibly can, as soon as I find the information, is because it's the right thing to do. Because everyone, after the year that we've gone through and all the people that we've lost, we deserve justice. We deserve freedom. We deserve a future. Our children deserve a future. And I'm not gonna sit here and listen to these fucking lies. Like, how can people trust people who are in power that are proven to be not just liars, but, you know, totally corrupt? And not just corrupt, but, you know, sexual predators. Not just sexual predators, but sexual traffickers. And not just them, but paedophiles. And these are the people that are in charge of our countries. And they're preventing the best healthcare and the best treatment of their people. For what? To watch their people die? Because the evidence is there that it works. So they're literally delaying every single day since that first hearing in March last year. They are knowing that people are dying, and that there is a cheap drug that is widely globally available that could prevent that, and they're actively stopping it. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you about the people that we are entrusting to run our countries, save our lives? Well, they're not, are they? And what's going on in Israel, as I said yesterday, it's the holiest site, right? It's the holiest site. All around those regions there are all holy sites. And the fact that they are having a war is like shitting on God's doorstep. And I genuinely think, like, what do they think that this is going to achieve? Just killing innocent people. The people don't want to kill each other, but the governments do, or the people in those positions of power. And they're shitting on God's doorstep. If you're a believer, of which billions of people are around the world, those are the holiest sites, right? And it is going against everything that any faith says. Right there. And if they don't think that you reap what you sow, what do they think? What do they genuinely? I can't fathom it. Like, what do they think is going to happen to them for killing innocent children, bombing innocent children? Like, my brain does not compute. I do not understand how anyone in their rational mind would be doing this. And there's a psychology thing that I was looking into, and it says that, love you guys, but it does say, and this isn't just men, this is everybody. You know, we're psychologically infantile, emotionally infantile, spiritually infantile, because we're not really, unless you're, you know, into that, but we've all experienced trauma and we've never really been taught how to deal with it properly. And if you're in a space where you're in a, you know, you've experienced trauma in your life, which most people have, and you don't know how to deal with it, so then it makes you react rather than respond. And if you're reacting from an emotional space, you can almost guarantee every single time that the decision is going to be wrong. So the important thing is to deal with those three things first. You know, your emotional, you know, your emotional compass kind of thing, and your spiritual compass, and your just dealing with all of that. And nobody, a lot of people don't get that opportunity, because if you don't have money, the services aren't there. The services aren't there for the people. And then you seek comfort from the wrong things. You seek comfort to that pain from, rather than from yourself. You seek it from alcohol or drugs or whatever it is, whatever vice it is. which is never dealing with the problem. It's just either make it worse or mask it. But it just seems to me like it's a dangerous time if people aren't thinking about their actions and the consequences of their actions, not just now, but it's in how they're going to be remembered in future history. Like, it's bad everything that they're doing now, but it's apartheid. Like, that's how Netanyahu and the crew there, like, really get a grip. Like, everyone needs to have a sit down. Nothing gets better by throwing bombs. Nothing ever gets better by throwing bombs. It's imploding from the inside and destroying everyone's lives at the same time. Like, the only people that are benefiting are the arms manufacturers, as always in war. That's why they want war, because they can make money from it. They don't care about the cities, they don't care about the people, they don't care about the children. They care about how many missiles are still. They're sick. Straight. And I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, if we're going to have, this is a weird way to describe it, but go with me. You know, if we were to have a war, because clearly people are itching for something. You know what I mean? So my thought was this. Wouldn't it be better if we just have a ceasefire, stop this nonsense, stop it. It is nonsense. Nobody's winning. We're born free. We're born to be winners, to have abundance, to experience the absolute best that life has to offer. All of us, not just a select few, all. So if we were to have a war, wouldn't it be better to have one that it actually is not anyone fighting against each other? Go with me. It's everyone fighting for each other together against actual bad guys rather than innocent people. When I say this, I'm talking about human traffickers. What about a war on human traffickers? What about a war on child abusers, sexual traffickers, pedophiles? Like, that is a war that would mean something. It's a war that everyone could win. It's a war where everyone would work together. It's a war that would not destroy lives, it would save lives. Millions of them. And it would bring everyone together. To me, that makes sense. because it's not like a war, no one's throwing missiles. You don't even need these weapons no more. We can work together on a war against something that matters, against people that are guilty, without throwing bombs, and save millions of children's lives at the same time, and women and men. Surely that is more important. Surely it is. Because we need to be the ones. We need to be the ones leading the way. And everyone can be a leader. This is the thing. There don't need to be one leader no more. They ain't leading us nowhere. They're leading us to fucking hell. That's where they're leading us. Yeah? So, I was thinking, anyone that empathy is really important, isn't it? And I just don't think a lot of politicians have it. They just don't, clearly, by their actions. But you know who have empathy and emotions in abundance? That is dancers, artists, comedians, actors, singers, musicians, creative people. We've got emotions and empathy in abundance. Now's the time. Now's the time. Because you think about it, anyone that's got a following, actors and anyone that's got a following, actors, singers, artists, music, all of the above, musicians, theatre, CEOs even, they've got a backbone and a spirit. Now is the time. Now is the time to shine. Because everyone's got greatness within them. Everyone's got a warrior within them. Think of what we have already overcome. Think of it. Remember our ancestors. Their blood flows in our veins. Not only that, their DNA is in our DNA. Literally. Their knowledge, their memories, their wisdom, it flows within us. So absolutely anyone can be a leader, can be a hero, can be a change maker, can be a history maker, can be whatever you want. Whatever you want. And if you've already got a following, if you're already an influential person, if you're already a celebrity, think of the impact that you could have. Think of the positive impact that you can have by just spreading that message. Being the change. Being the change that you want to see in the world. And we can all do it. We can all do it together. So keep fighting for what's right, because the longer we fight, the louder we fight, the more that we fight, the more people that join. And it's not like a fight, like a physical fight. It's just speaking the truth and not giving a shit, because it's so freeing. Just knowing that we're all the same, and it's all right. It's all right to not be all right, and it's all right to have made mistakes, and that's not who you are. And you can recover and grow from any situation. It's just a lesson, it's a hurdle, it's a thing that you've got to come over. But once you have, you've got all of that knowledge that you can impart on somebody else to help them get over their hurdle. So every single person is important. Every single person has got an experience, a story, a time that can be shared, that we all understand, because we've all been through the same things. And it just makes it feel like, oh, you know what? We're so much closer than we ever realized before. And it's a beautiful thing. And just saying it out loud and just owning it and just being like, yeah, I did do that. You know what? I was a fucking dickhead. I was a dickhead back then. I did that and it was stupid, and now I've learned from it, and whatever you did to get over it. But just letting it go is the best thing. And even more than that is, once you have, it makes it so much clearer. You can just see the people that are still, particularly at this point in time, with everything that's going on a daily basis, you can just see once you've let that go, once you've just gone, own it, yeah, did that, yeah, I did do that, but I've changed, or I've made it up, or I'm on my way, or I'm trying to do this, right? Once you've done that, it's like frees your soul, and it makes it real clear. It makes it real clear who the liars are and the corrupt people are. It just really does. So I was going to say, what was the other thing I was going to say? As usual, I've got my notes. I'm going to put some links into the meetings that I just watched on Parliamentary Channel, because it is actually quite entertaining, about David Cameron. As I said, David Cameron is lobbying during a pandemic, let's not forget. And what's the other one? An independent advisor. His words were that he's going to speak the truth unto power. We shall see. We shall see if he sticks to those little words there. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah. So, you all know my favourite quiz show is Pointless. They had something question about it was it was something to do with prime ministers that have been to Oxford, right? So I thought, oh, hold on a minute. So it just jumped out at me, and I thought, that's interesting, because there was 5. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to look this up. So I searched people in power that have come from Oxford University. Well, let me tell you, it's very interesting, because then it then led me on to further questions. So I was like, well, if this many people have all come from Oxford that are all in politics, how many, you know, because like in American universities, obviously you've got to pay a lot of money, and in the fact that you've got to pay a lot of money means immediately that either it's going to be completely people that only have money, so it's directed at a certain echelon of society, or people that are prepared to get in debt or work their way through or have sponsorship. Yeah, but generally speaking, you have to earn a lot. You have to have a lot of money, don't you, to have to go to university, particularly Ivy League. And then I was reminded of the secret societies that you've got in American universities, the not so secret societies, where to get into the houses you have to do initiations and all these rituals and shit, which have been proven to be even dangerous sometimes with students dying from the kind of rituals that they got to do. But then I watched another program. So if you've got these Ivy League universities, same thing, where all of the politicians or leaders come from, and they've all been in certain houses, and they've all been in certain secret societies. See where I'm going? And those secret societies have a certain group of people within them each year. And much like Freemasonry, you know, you keep it within, don't you? Like mates rates, deals. And the people within that group within that year, or within just, if it was like a certain house, then anyone within that. Yeah? Which is absolute fact, because it happens. It's happening. So this is how it started. I asked the question, which politicians, this is just from watching Pointless, and it just made me ask it, which politicians went to go, oh, it's global actually, which world leaders, there we go, world leaders, that's the one, world leaders went to Oxford. Very interesting. List of university, here we go. So first of all, you got monarchs. So various monarchs from around the world have gone to Oxford University. King of Malaysia, King of Netherlands, King of Norway. These are obviously different points in time. Emperor of Japan, King of Lesotho, King of Tonga. Right? Royal persons. You got Prince Philip of Belgium. Can't say his name, from Bhutan. Al Mahdi, Brunei. Empress Masako, Japan. Prince of whatever, Japan. So you can see how there's a clique forming. Prince of Makassar, Japan. Lots of Japan. Jordan, here we go. Al Hassan bin Talal. Princess Aisha of Jordan. All the princesses of Jordan there. Prince Guillaume Wanwei of Luxembourg. Raj Sharif Sophia of Malaysia. Grand Duke George something of Russia. Prince Khalid of Al Faisal of Saudi Arabia. Natan Gamandezi, Swaziland. Is it all royalty, yeah? Mom Rajawangse, Thailand. Another two from Thailand. Prince Paul of Yugoslavia. Princess Catherine of the Sikh Empire. Another Princess Bamba from the Sikh Empire. Ahmed Sarkhan from Afghanistan. Maria Vladimirova from Russia. Prince Abbas from Egypt. Prince Badia Bint from Jordania, and Prince Moulay Hicham of Morocco. Those are just the royalty, heads of state. Here we go. It's interesting, isn't it? John Gore. I wonder how, when you got to say an oath, these things have always got an oath, haven't they, attached to them, these like societies. I wonder what oath these lot had to take. John Gorton of Australia. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Australia. These are all people that have been to Oxford, that have all been in positions of power, world leaders. Grantley Adams from Barbados, JMG Barbados, Seretse Khama Botswana, Fetsumagoe Botswana, John Turner Canada, Lester Bowles Pearson Canada, Solomon from Ceylon, Alvaro Uribe Colombia, Jose Ramos Horta East Timor, Penania Ganilao Fiji. I mean, the list goes on. I'm going to put the list in. It's ridiculous. Look, Hong Kong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 from Hong Kong. Viktor Orban, Hungary. Something Johansson, Iceland. Savapelli, India. Sorry, I can't say these names. Norman Manley, Jamaica. Dominic Mintoff, Malta. Irons. So these are all world leaders, and they've all gone to Oxford. Right, come on. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, Pakistan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from Pakistan. Pedro Pablo Kuczynski, Peru. Seni Pramoj from Thailand. So it's Thailand ones. Trinidad and Tobago we've got here. Mahai Razvan from Romania. Bill Clinton from the United States. I can't even say that one. From Biafra. Risto Ricci from Finland. Politicians. More politicians. All of the last 5 prime ministers have all come from Oxford University, just FYI. As have various other let me see. Oh my god, the list goes on. It's ridiculous. And it just makes you think, what exactly, what exactly was agreed? What was their oath? What was their quid pro quo for going there? Because it seems awfully coincidental, does it not, that a lot of the world leaders have got some tie to Oxford. Particularly old Bill Clinton. We all know he's a paedophile. and who just all the associations, all the connections between all of them, royalty, world leaders, all at the same place at the same time. Just saying. So I'll put the links in. Anyway, I've ranted on enough. My general message for today is I love you. Stay strong. Speak out. It's working. It's working. And just to support each other, love each other, take care of each other. Because we can do this. We are doing this. We have done this. We've already won. So, love you. And I'll see you tomorrow.